Hi everyone, I'm Fabio.
I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the Fabryk, which is our channel and blog.
We cover gay travel and lifestyle, and generally we go to places that are a bit off the beaten path. We want to encourage our viewers and readers not to just go to the standard circuit parties. They're great. We love them. But there's way more going on out there in this big, wide world.
And this takes us to the topic of today, which is how we travel the world of the beaten path as gay couple. But first, let me introduce myself. As you can hear from my accent, I'm Fabio. I come from Italy and I moved around 10 years ago in Germany, which I loved because I found it very welcoming, at least like where I live, mainly in Cologne and Berlin.
So I'm Ryan, and I'm from the US originally. I don't know if you can tell by my accent. And I left the US in 2012 and went to China and India. And finally in 2018, I ended up in Germany, in Berlin. And it was the first place that I really felt like I could be myself, feel at home, feel like I found a bit of a community as well. And we met in 2022, and since then we've been traveling full time.
It's almost 3 years now.
So traveling off the beaten path as a gay couple, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages?
Well, I guess the main advantage is, as also for everyone, when you travel off the beaten path, you have more unique experience with a different cost, which usually is more affordable.
Particularly traveling as a gay couple together, I think there's a lot of comfort and safety in it. You have each other. So if you're in a really unknown destination, maybe not the most gay-friendly place, you have each other to kind of support, which is essential in these places. Otherwise, it feels quite isolated and lonely. I guess as a disadvantage, though, of course, like maybe you don't meet as many people as you would have if you're just solo traveling, because a lot of times you retreat to your comfort zone.
So it's sometimes hard to, be authentic, like being your true self in some location, of course. In a way, we are kinda lucky. It's easier for us because, we are like kinda cheese type male, so we always think we are brothers, or I don't know, maybe we are there for some competition sport.
I think some of the most surprising things is you would think that when you go to a gay unfriendly place that you're going to be immediately harassed. You hear in the news these types of stories. I think in our case, that hasn't happened, knock on wood. You end up going to these places and it just goes straight over their heads. It doesn't faze them at all that these two men could possibly be gay. You guys are either brothers or you're friends, or they'll also ask questions like, hey, why are you not married? You're in your 30s. Like, you don't have kids yet? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You guys, time is ticking. And
that's usually the second question.
Yeah.
After maybe where are you from is, are you married? No.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Well, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, in a way, it's weird because you feel almost safer in these places because it's so unfathomable that these two people could possibly be gay. So I feel like you can kind of just blend in a little bit.
Like you go like in the Middle East and it's kind of more normal than like in the West. In the Western parts of the world, like seeing men like hugging each other or like holding hands, because for them it's more like something like a family thing or like just like being friends. And in the Western world, you associate it immediately with like two people being gay.
Yeah, it's corrupted our brains.
To not talk about the banya, the sauna, the spa in the ex-Soviet Union, which is the most gay thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
So, literally you go into these spas, these baths in ex-Soviet Union countries like Georgia, Kazakhstan. We went to one as well. And in Kazakhstan, for example, they're taking these twigs and like slapping each other. And it's like the most homoerotic experience, but it's completely normal for them. Or maybe this is also, we think this is our way of like expressing their homosexuality in a normalized way.
Yeah, and frustration.
Yes.
Because they're very crowded, these places.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the topic of LGBTQ plus safety in unconventional places. Wherever you're going in the world, you can use this app it's a web application called Equaldex. And what you can do is you can go to this site, put in the country name that you want to go to. So let's say Georgia, because we're in Georgia right now. And then you can check to see what the stats are around whether this country is LGBTQ plus friendly or not. What are some of the laws associated with it? Is it legal or not there? What are some of the repercussions if you're caught in homosexual activity? Lots of different things like this. But either way, it's going to kind of brief you on the country and what the current situation is there. So we tend to use this before we go to a country, although we don't let it necessarily dictate where we're going to be going, because we don't like to limit ourselves based on that.
Yeah. I mean, actually, we never really used it. But yeah, because we travel as a couple and geez, man, it's easier for us, but absolutely we recommend to use this application.
And we don't think that our philosophy around travel is that you shouldn't limit yourself to your location based on the laws there. Of course, you have to be extremely vigilant when you go to these places and careful with what you do if you are LGBTQ plus, but we don't think that it should limit you. We think that going to these places, they need to know about these things out in the world, and any bit of like exposure that they have to the LGBTQ plus community is a bit of education that could help create progress in these countries.
Absolutely. Well, we love our tank tops. And as you can see, especially Ryan,
even though it's winter time,
the only
outfit I have.
Anyway, don't wear tank top in the club in Serbia.
Exactly.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But we do definitely find a lot of cases where we're completely undercover and hidden. Like we were in Georgia in Batumi, the coastal city, and we were at the one gay bar, the one gay club that's there as of 2024. One place that's open on a Saturday night, and they give you stickers for your phone, so you're not allowed to take pictures inside of it. And we went outside and we were down the street. We were quite far away from the bar at the end of the night. And this Russian guy asked if we can order him a taxi because he didn't have any money. So we're talking to him in like broken English. And then he sees the stickers on our phone and he's like, you went to that bar. Are you guys gay? And I'm like, first of all, like, how do you know that they put stickers on our phone at this bar if you haven't been there before? But then at that point, of course, we're like, no, we're not. You know, we didn't realize it was a gay bar, and we were quite discreet, which was very, that just happens in these places. You kind of retreat to like a safe place and you try to cover up. And then, of course, he's then trying to show us like fucking Georgian hooker porn afterwards, and we're like, just getting your taxi that we paid for and go home. So some practical tips for LGBTQ plus individuals or couples that are going to less traveled destinations. Here are some suggestions on how to make it as safe and enjoyable as possible.
So learn about customs, the dress codes, the more you can, and just common attitude. So, which is also good to really integrate in the place and like feeling welcome.
And you can learn about this kind of stuff from Equaldex and just doing like a simple Google search, I guess, LGBTQ plus laws and customs in whatever country you want to go to. Or you can use our blog, because a lot of times we put on gay guides for less traveled places, and that will give you insights into what the cultures and norms are of those places. How should you go about booking accommodations where you go? You can generally stay in LGBTQ plus friendly hotels and lodgings if it isn't like a really underground anti-LGBTQ plus place. We like to use, for example, booking.com, because they have a travel proud certification that hotels can apply for if they are eligible and they are gay friendly. They go out of their way to making an inclusive space. Generally, we like to book those. But if we're in kind of the lesser known travel destinations, then we tend to either try to book places like hotel chains that are a bit more global, because generally they're going to have a little bit more of a globally trained staff. If not, like, you know, occasionally we'll just put up with it and we'll stay in a guest house. And sometimes we'll have to have two separate beds, for example. We'll have two little twin beds and we're like looking at each other across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to avoid that.
Yeah.
But yeah, once in a while, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. We kind of just assess to see how the environment is beforehand, and then
I think like you have to live it also, as you spice it up. The experience every time is different.
We've had experiences where they're like, they see us and they're like, oh, if we had known, we would have given you two separate beds. And we're just like, oh no, it's okay, like we're fine with this.
Yeah.
Like I remember in Montenegro, the woman said that. And then you know, if they think you're brothers or friends or whatever, it doesn't really matter in the end. So yeah, that's about booking beds. Local connections. How can you harness the LGBTQ plus networks in the place that you're going to? We like to use Grindr, for example. I mean, I think Grindr is like the worst app ever. I'm sure most of you can agree with us, but it is a good place to kind of meet locals. It's probably the best place in some areas because that's all they have. For example, in Georgia, that's like the app.
It depends a lot from countries, because there are other countries where when you start the application, Grindr, you get a notice that it's not recommended to use it, or like it's even blocked, I think, in some countries. Yeah. So yeah, of course, if you have a connection from other platform, Instagram or forums, it can help. But don't let it stop you from visit the place, because whether you're in you meet people in an hostel or like your host, people are always mostly welcoming. Just like take the time to see the situation, and yeah, again, you can always like be 100% yourself, but you can always discover something new anyway.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, like, everywhere you go, there's always going to be, not everywhere you go, but like most places you go to, there's going to be LGBTQ plus individuals.
Yeah.
It just depends on how undercover it is, but we're not going anywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah, the percentage is always the same.
Yeah.
They're just more hidden.
Yes. So even in Afghanistan, for example, you're going to find it.
So let's talk about our favorite and less favorite places to travel to as gay traveler. And okay, we have many probably. You can find some in our video if you want to discover more. So my favorite is LGBT place to travel, I think, is Japan. It's a really good place to travel. You feel like very safe. Generally, whether you're like a part of the community or not, you just feel safe. And you have like big cities with gay parties. Then you have like the chance to travel off the beaten path, and you always feel safe anyway. And we made some videos about that. We also participated to the Tokyo Rainbow Pride a few years ago. And it was an excellent experience, because it was a pride, but it was also different.
I think maybe my favorite place, I mean, it's not really off the beaten path, but we're not talking about that now. It's more my favorite place to travel as a gay person and to be able to really kind of be myself and express myself is definitely Western European countries. I think it doesn't get much better than that. There are certain cities in the US which are obviously very gay friendly, but that's a whole other topic, since shit's hitting the fan over there. But I would say probably European countries like Germany, Netherlands, the UK also is extremely gay friendly. A lot of the places that you go, London, Bristol. So yeah, I would just kind of group those all together.
Yeah, I think probably the gayest friendly place to live is probably the Netherlands and like Sweden.
Yeah, right. The Scandinavia.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, our least favorite places to travel for LGBTQ plus safety. This is hard because, like we said, I feel like, knock on wood, it hasn't been totally unsafe yet. We haven't been to places where being gay is completely dangerous, though. So I don't really have an answer for this one, I think.
Well, I don't know. I also don't want to generalize because in the places that are known for their unfriendliness, I probably haven't spent enough time on them. But for example, when I traveled in Egypt, I stayed in a resort, and I just tried to use the grinder, and I got like this notice. It's not recommended to use it here. It was a few years ago, but I think it's still the case. Even though I love the country, I can't wait to go back.
Also, ex-Soviet nation. I feel like Georgia, where we are now, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Kazakhstan. I feel like there's this kind of machismo in a lot of the men here and stuff. And I noticed that, like, okay, we were in the sauna and the gym the other day, and there's just lots of like straight guys, and I'm like, oh my god, what if they notice I'm gay and they try to beat me up? This is what goes through my head. So obviously it's probably just an irrational fear, but it definitely doesn't feel as safe in some of these places as if you were to be in other parts of Europe, for example.
Yeah, to quote Mariah Carey, proceed with caution. Okay, so I think we are done for this first video of this series, which is kind of, I named it the couch series videos. I like
Cute.
When we
I like
share
it.
our experience from the couch.
Yeah, with a cup
or the
of
bed.
coffee.
Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for support our channel. We are starting to see some interaction, and we really appreciate it. And please share your experience, which could be interesting also for other travelers. And subscribe and like. We will be really glad about that.
And yeah, maybe in the comments, to keep this discussion going, share your favorite and least favorite places for LGBTQ plus safety that you've been to. It's a bit of an open-ended question. Just share your experiences. Where has been good? Where has been bad? Hopefully there hasn't been bad.
Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you.